Chapter 2. The Return of Bobby. Bobby writes me a sweet, reconciliatory email. I resolve to let him back into my heart. We make plans to go to the Red Lion for St. Patrick's Day. I sit on my couch in a deep V peacock maxi dress and raven skull jewelry and await him picking me up. I am wearing a pleather thong. I hope we are going to have sex. I think we are going to have sex. We always do, ever since we've been broken up. We've been broken up for 4 months. I've had sex with him 4 times since then. Well, we were still in love. It was 2005 and more innocent time. So, back in 2005, we ate a sausage platter, and I sipped non-alcoholic beer at the Red Lion. We cuddle in the deep blue booth. We talk about our dating misadventures since we broke up, how much we missed each other, how comfortable and easy it is to fall back into one another's arms. We both want to get back together. We go back to his house and, just FYI to keep this PG-13, I'm going to pause and leave out the sexiness in this book because, yeah, there's a few. The TV flickers on H2 on mute. Bobby is asleep. Bobby's asleep and I am not, having woken up at 5 p.m. that night and drank a lot of coffee. I am buzzing like a wire. I fiddle with my iPhone for 6 hours until it runs out of power. I go to the bathroom and smoke a bowl. I consider redoing my makeup. I take out various cosmetics to paint my face. As I am setting them on the toilet, I hear him rise. He comes to the bathroom. He is angry. I have seen this before. Bobby says he can't sleep while I'm in the house. He insists upon taking me home at 3 a.m. He says my energy is keeping him awake. He has to wake up in a few hours for his television job. We fight on the way home. Bobby finally says it might simply be because he hasn't had someone in his bed for 4 months. I feel like I did everything in my power to get him to sleep, short of sleeping myself. I mean, I have a weird sleep schedule. I couldn't sleep. It was mid-afternoon for me. So, I invited him to a play that weekend, and he said he'd think about it. He dropped me off and lingered on the sidewalk. He invites me to a movie about Scientology. I feel like indeed we are giving it another try. I'm glad. This is just a momentary obstacle. Still, if he's unable to sleep with me awake in his house, that does not bode well for the cohabitation that we've been discussing. We consider going home after our dates if I am on a different sleep schedule and decide this has to be a better solution. But whether or not we will have a life together, which is fundamentally what this book is about, deciding whether or not I would marry Bobby, is depending how willing he was to adjust to the fact that I do things differently. I'm a grown woman. I'm 42 now. When I wrote this, I was 38. I'm too set in my ways to change now. But I'm willing to reasonably compromise. I am glad he has a job that he goes to, that he takes seriously, unlike a lot of my other boyfriends. But me, I'm a provider. I do my work at night. When I get inside my apartment, I'm suddenly very glad to be there. It is bright with kitschy, eccentric baubles. I pet my cat, drink iced coffee, smoke a bowl, drink coconut water. I tweet, check my email, and write. Soon it will be time for yoga and meditation at dawn. I consider the night well spent. This was all for the best. I was getting really bored over there anyway, lying awake quietly in the dark by his side. It's better for me to just go home before he goes to sleep, instead of making our desperate sleep schedule an issue again and again. In my previous relationship with him, we were on and off for years, it was an issue. I always wanted to stay up late. He would start snoring at 9 p.m. while I would be up till 4 a.m. Perhaps I just can't sleep over. We are all just groping towards one day of being happy with someone. I still don't know if I could ever live with him. I was willing to consider it over sausages, but after tonight's upset, I am doubting again. Bobby's inability to sleep while I am awake in his house would be a huge problem if we lived together. It would be basically impossible. He has this fantasy of us living in a house together, married. So I wonder if this will just be another time that Bobby and I hang out, have sex, and then start talking about getting back together. Then he doesn't call the following weekend, and the ball is dropped once again. This has happened twice already. I told him not to be confused and conflicted. I told him I needed a commitment before I went home with him. He said yes, he wants to get back together. After we had sex, I asked him if he was my boyfriend. At first he said yes, and then he said he still wanted to talk more. I wonder, and I was dumb to wonder, if I'm dumb to trust a man. He's a straight shooter sometimes. He's usually trustworthy, but I hope I can trust him this time. Ursula tells me she thought I might get back together with him. She takes it well. I agree we should be friends. In therapy, I talk about how I feel like this is the right move. I try to do the right thing. I would rather be a primary partner to a man I could marry than a secondary at a crumbling time bomb. Because, Ursula's wife would find out. I also don't want Ursula's marriage to explode when she told her partner. Her wife is just out of the hospital for surgery. I tell Ursula to save her wife the pain of telling her about us as we are over sexually. Knowing she still hasn't told her partner about her male lover either, I feel like this is for the best. Bobby invites me to a movie expose about Scientology at the ArcLight Hollywood. I wait for him to pick me up, smoking weed in a silver dress. He texts that he can't pick me up. He doesn't tell me when to meet him until 15 minutes before. I don't go, stoned and tired. I wonder if this reconciliation is to be a series of false starts. I buy tickets to Martin Metamoris' Villains with Ian McKinnon as Cruella de Vil, Rich Yap plays an evil queen. I take a lift to Bobby's gym Friday night, confidently snap an Instagram of the sunset from the passenger seat. At Highway's performance space, the costumes are lavish and delivery camp. I do love the theater. Bobby and I pick up Chinese on the way home. We cuddle and watch television until we fall asleep. The next day, he makes me turkey goat cheese avocado burritos. Bobby's family is from Mexico. He makes delicious Mexican food. That night, we go to his artist friend's new home in Pasadena. A living room full of older people discuss 3 movies. In my striped maxi dress, I stumble over a Screen Actors Guild tote bag. The Scientology movie, Going Clear, yielded a fascinating gossip session. Everyone in LA has a story about Scientology. I haven't seen the documentary yet. I want to see it when it comes out later on HBO Go. Afterwards, Bobby leaves me with his friends and the host's wife. He takes the host for a ride in his electric smart car. I smile and we pleasant conversation. I am on tonight. Jack and Lisa say they will come back and pick me up if Bobby doesn't come back. They leave. I step out on the porch also. I fiddle with my iPhone awkwardly. The night is chill. My bottom dampened by the patio seat. Bobby finally returns. Once I'm home, in my painfully clean apartment, I smoke weed and text Ursula an apology for missing her reading. I want to stay friends with her. I don't know how this will work out, though. I honestly did want to go to her reading, but some of those CalArts people I went to school with were reading too. But I'm prioritizing Bobby, and that's how it goes. That evening, he came over again. He never used to come over. I appreciate that he's trying to compromise. Our relationship is a series of compromises. Bobby and I watch the season finale of The Girls and the Royals. We eat mixed nuts and dried apricots. Are you really serious about the witch thing? Bobby asks. Yes, it's an important part of my identity. It's like being Jewish, I say. We light candles, we wear funny hats, we celebrate holidays for the seasons. You wouldn't have a problem with me being Jewish. Wicca is just another totally legitimate world religion. I don't think he buys it. Ursula used to call me Pretty Witch. She thought my witchcraft was sexy. I hope Bobby comes around. My Nina Simone theme song has shifted from The Other Woman into I Put a Spell on You. I did a spell on Bobby right after we broke up in December 2014. I did several spells to win him back. Now, point this book is out, which was March 2015. They're working! There's still a pentagram with runes and our astrological rising signs on my altar, held down by a crystal. I considered burning it when I felt I must let him go. I didn't then. I was glad. But, I mean, it was then. Trump wasn't president then. It was a happier time. And we were in love. I never stopped loving him when we were broken up. Magic encircles us. It is spring again. Last spring, we got back together after our first breakup in, December 2013. Like, when this keeps happening, you just kind of stop. But I was so happy that we were together that I got this tattoo of a gardenia on my shoulder and started this, idealistic small chapbook press on Etsy. That sure didn't last. Spring, though. Spring is a time of blossoming and creativity, even if akin to wilt. That whole week, I could not wipe the smile off my face. I am just full of bliss. I come over to his house half an hour early on Wednesday and smoke weed in the bathroom. That's my current MO. Arrive early, smoke before, smoke only once while we're together, because he said doesn't like it. He wants me to cut down. I'm moderating. Bobby comes home and kisses me. He seems to take a delight in leaving the door open and unlocked for as long as possible upon arriving. After waiting as long as I can in a state of anxiety, I have safety issues, I ask him if he's going to lock it. He angers momentarily. He says he will once he settles in and gets some more things out of the car. I allow Bobby to feed me peanuts. He drinks a glass of wine next to me at the table. We eat hummus with pretzel chips. The door is still unlocked. Due to my PTSD over being raped an indefinite number of too many times, I am incapable of relaxing until all doors and windows are locked. Bobby announces he's going to take a shower after the gym. He locks the door finally. I relax. In therapy, I processed that I wasn't present enough for my first wife because I was an alcoholic. I worry I drove her to suicide. I don't want to make the same mistakes if there is to be a second marriage. My therapist reassures me. I walk out of her Silver Lake office, snapping my sunglasses on. I edit this novel until Bobby calls, streamlining my sprawling scrawls in a minimalist Times New Roman double-spaced type. He says, I want to give this thing another try. I say, yes, absolutely. Let's do it. He says, I'm still willing to go to your esoteric lesbian book clubs. I might take you to esoteric pagan frolics and plays of gay men also, I say. You always stand up so nicely at events and don't embarrass me. Well, my family really likes you. And my friends. All of your friends except one, who I've given up on. I would say about a 90% approval rating. He hangs up to take a shower. I go back to writing. I leave for the Bay Area in the